how should I go about paraphrasing? So I'm going to show you the best way to paraphrase. Okay, so let me label this here. And this should give you an idea of how you should go about paraphrasing. Now, when you paraphrase, the idea is this, right? You read some information about something, and then you write that information in your own words. And the best, I guess the best way to do that would be to read this information, literally put the book away, and then go rewrite what you just tried to remember. The only problem with that is you're probably going to miss out on some important details if you just try to go off the top of your head. So a better way to paraphrase and still make sure that you write this information in your own words is to take some notes as you read through this information. So as I read through, let's just say about William the Conqueror, and it's just this little section here. Okay, so as I read through, I'm going to take down some notes that seem to be some important concrete details. Okay, so it says in late September 1066, William of Normandy, who became known as William the Conqueror. Well, that's pretty important. It seems like they seem to be talking about this one guy, William the Conqueror. So I'm going to put down here, I'm just even going to make a bullet. William the Conqueror, okay, who was William of Normandy. Okay, so I take that note down. He invaded southern England. So I've got William the Conqueror, William of Normandy, invaded southern England. Okay, that's good. King Harold and his army were 250 miles north, fighting off a Norwegian invasion. Okay. William's army rested and waited for the English army to march south to confront it. All right, so William and his army waited for, looks like King Harold to arrive. All right. On October 14th, the two armies met at the village of Hastings. The English were on foot, fighting with swords and spears. The Normans had cavalry and archers. Okay, so October 14th, they met at village of Hastings. Okay, then we've got William had cavalry and archers. Sounds like they maybe had an advantage there. It says Harold and his brothers were killed in the battle, ending Anglo-Saxon rule in England. The Norman conqueror and his army fought their way across England, burning and looting. On Christmas Day, 1066, William was crowned King of England. Ah, okay. So, Harold was killed. William burned and looted. (1066) William crowned King of England. Okay, so I've got all of my notes here. Now when I go to paraphrase, I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to put the book away, right? I don't need that thing anymore. And what I've got is, I'm going to write that story of what I just read, but I'm going to make sure I include these important details. So we're talking about William the Conqueror. He invaded southern England. His army was waiting for King Harold to arrive. They finally met at the village of Hastings. Okay, William had an advantage with cavalry and archers. He ends up killing King Harold. He goes across England burning and looting, and in 1066 he's crowned King of England. Okay, and so I'm going to write that up here in my own writing, including all of these things here. And so I've got, I'm going to go through and do that. So William of Normandy decided to invade England. Invaded southern England and waited for King Harold to return from battle. On October 14th, they met at the village of Hastings and fought one another. Harold was killed. William and his men burned and looted across England. Or I should say, in 1066, William was finally crowned King of England. All right. So what I've done is I've included all of these notes into my own words. If I were to flip back into the book, you could see that I have all the concrete details there, but it is written in my own words, and that's exactly what I want to do when I paraphrase. Okay? Then I would give credit to this textbook or to whichever resource I used, because they're the ones who actually gave me all that information. So I have to give them credit for at least having that information. But I've paraphrased and written it in my own words. And so I first take the notes, then I make sure I write it up myself, including all of those concrete details in there. And that's the best way to paraphrase.